Chapter 137, Causing Heavenly Tribulation. While Li Laoqi was pondering, Xiaojin attacked again with her instigate. And although its size after berserking was huge, its speed was not slower than Li Laoqi's, and was even one step faster. HMPH. Li Laoqi knew that it was impossible to dodge. He pinched unknown seals with both hands repeatedly. Immediately the heaven and earth aura in the void fluctuated violently. A terrifying energy swept in. Break the sky. When Kang Chon below saw this scene, he knew that Li Laoqi was casting a terrifying spell, and he hurriedly swung his long black sword and slashed out his stronger slash. Unfortunately, he and Li Laoqi's strength was much worse, and this slash could not even shatter Li Laoqi's protective true essence, slightly causing Li Laoqi to pause for a moment. However, with this moment, Little Gold also immediately charged over. At that instant, the crowd saw that Little Gold's two fists seemed to swell, instantly becoming big, and then erupted with a blazing light, like to golden suns, suppressing towards Li Laoqi. Li Laoqi instantly felt a huge crisis. His expression was gloomy. The sealing decisions he pinched in his hands became faster and faster, and finally the spiritual chi of heaven and earth in the entire space around him trembled violently. The berserk spiritual chi was like tumbling magma, spewing out scorching power. Li Laoqi's eyes shot out a brilliant light. He fiercely let out a low cry. 5 tigers whizzing in the air. With Li Laoqi's low drink, instantly, headless huge white tigers appeared in the sky. Each one was no smaller than Xiaojin. Their whole body radiated brightly, as if they were made of light. The power of each white tiger was no worse than that of Little Gold. As soon as the headless white tigers appeared, they roared in unison and pounced towards Little Gold. Kang Chon's face was incomparably grave. This Li Laoqi was indeed considered an expert amongst the older generation. Surprisingly, he had learnt such powerful spells. I'm afraid that ordinary cultivators of the same rank would not be able to deal with him. However, Kang Chon had full confidence in Little Gold as he gazed intently at the battle in the sky. Little Gold was surrounded by headless white tigers, but appeared to be not at all chaotic. Its whole body shot out a piercing golden light. Each strike carried an incomparably vast and powerful force, and between just 3 no punches, it directly blew up a white tiger. Li Laoqi looked very shocked. He was stunned by Xiaojin's powerful strength. What kind of spirit beast is this? It could be so powerful. Boom! Another white tiger was smashed by Little Gold. Little Gold's figure flashed as it unexpectedly performed mysterious body techniques in the air. Its speed was incomparably strange and fast. Moreover, each of Little Gold's punches had an inexplicable momentum. This was not a random punch, but a powerful battle technique. The crowd watching the battle was very puzzled. How could a spirit beast have a powerful battle technique? But Kang Chon was very clear. After Xiaojin broke through the Jiden stage, he possessed many inherited memories. And these memories contained many powerful secret battle techniques, as well as some terrifying feats. These were the old ancestors of the Vajra divine monkey, the powerful inheritances that were left in their bloodline. And as Little Gold became stronger and stronger, the inheritances that it obtained also became more and more powerful. The way the top clans among these demonic beasts reproduced. Unlike the continuation of sex of human cultivators, the demonic beast clans were all passed down through bloodline inheritance, allowing their offspring to reproduce. Impossible! How is this monkey so powerful? As the third white tiger was smashed by Xiaojin, Li Laoqi's face became more and more unsightly. The loss of 3 days of white tigers had not caused any damage to Xiaojin. The only 2 remaining white tigers were still being pressed by Xiaojin. Although these 2 white tigers were powerful, they didn't know a single bit of battle technique. They fought completely by brute force. They were not Xiaojin's opponent at all. Roar! When Xiaojin blew up the 5th white tiger, Li Laoqi finally couldn't help but charge up and killed at Xiaojin. This time, he didn't summon anything. Instead, he struck out a terrifying attack. Xiaojin did not mess up in the slightest. He still executed the inherited fist technique to answer the enemy. "Old man, don't forget that your opponent is me, on the life and death stage below." A cold smile appeared at the corner of Kang Chon's mouth as he softly shouted in a low voice, "Heaven escaping hand." Without the slightest movement, space trembled, and then a huge golden palm appeared out of thin air, grabbing Li Laoki fiercely. Boom! Xiaojin seized this opportunity and punched Li Laoki's body fiercely. Li Laoki's face reddened, and he immediately sprayed out a mouthful of blood. Suppression. At this moment, Kang Chon controlled the heaven tackling hand and smashed Li Laoki fiercely into the ground. Rumbling, continuous loud noise, the earth was trembling. A terrifying crack appeared on the huge life and death platform, spreading out towards the surroundings. There was an uproar outside the arena. The legendary invincible divine ability, the heaven tackling hand, was once again displayed in front of people's eyes, and both those who had seen the heaven tackling hand and those who hadn't were all incomparably shocked at this moment. What a strong divine ability! This kid's origins are not simple. King Zhenan looked at Kang Chon on the life and death stage with an astonished expression. On the side, Jin San Xiao, Wang Taizhong, Hua Wanyong and the others were incomparably excited. Lei Yun's fists were clenched tightly, his eyes glowing with a powerful battle intent, his blazing eyes staring intently at the battle on the life and death stage. Not far away, the faces of the 9th princess and Li Yuanba were extremely unsightly. A trace of gravity flashed in their eyes, and their expressions were suddenly incomparably gloomy. Heaven escaping hand. Essence flickered in Zhao Wuji's indifferent eyes, his brows gently furrowed, and for the first time, a look of gravity appeared in his expression. Wow! On the life and death stage, a wretched figure shot up from the chaotic rock pit. Blood was flowing from the corner of Li Laoki's mouth. His eyes were incomparably gloomy. He had almost forgotten about this invincible divine ability of Kang Chon. This move could not be cracked even with his strength at the 9th level of the Jiden stage. "Looks like we can only use that one," Li Laoqi muttered in his mouth. He was not lightly injured just now, not by Kang Chon's smashing, but by Xiaojin's punch. After all, Xiaojin's strength at the moment was similar to his. If there were a few more times of that punch, he would have already been directly killed. "Old piker, still remember what I told you 3 years ago?" Kang Chon coldly looked at the wretched Li Laoqi in the sky. Xiaojin stood in the air above his head, his icy eyes similarly staring at Li Laoqi. Li Laoqi's gaze shrank at the words. He thought of the words that the teenager, who was only at the 5th level of the Foundation establishment stage, had said to him 3 years ago. "Old piker, today you are suppressing me with the Jiden stage realm. In the future, when you break through the Jiden stage, I will take your dog's life." In the past, Kang Chon's words were as deep in his mind and instantly surfaced. And now, Kang Chon didn't need to break through the Jiden stage to already force him into such a sorry state. Li Laoqi's gloomy face began to reveal a morose killing intent as he stared fiercely at Kang Chon below, his eyes becoming incomparably cold. "Kid, your talent is frightening. If old me doesn't kill you today, he will definitely be an afterthought to my Li family in the future. So, today you will definitely die." The last sentence, Li Laoqi shouted out. A purple golden lance suddenly appeared in his hand, emitting a faint light. At a glance one could tell that it was extraordinary. Li Laoqi pointed the lance at the Kang Chon below and said coldly, "It is your honor to die under the Overlord's lance. That honor is still reserved for you, little gold." Kang Chon snorted coldly at his words, and the little gold on top of his head suddenly came out and pounced towards Li Laoqi. At the same time, Kang Chon executed the heaven escaping hand, trapping Li Laoqi in the first instance. However, Li Laoqi did not have the slightest fear, even though he was tightly grasped by the golden giant palm. His complexion was still sneering. He looked at ********, the small gold that came, revealing a disdainful look. Seeing Li Laoki with such a look, Kang Chon below suddenly had a bad premonition rise in his heart. But at this moment, little gold had already appeared in front of Li Laoki. A burst of blazing light wrapped them in it. And in this light, the crowd could vaguely see a purple golden light flickering away. Boomed, a wretched figure fell fiercely to the ground. It was actually Xiao Jin. Kang Chon's face instantly froze. His eyes were filled with shock as he looked at Li Laoki in the sky with a face full of unbelief. In the sky, the light dispersed. Li Laoki was unharmed with his feet on a flying sword, holding a purple golden lance. An unrivaled aura erupted from him. He looked at Kang Chon below with a cold expression, his eyes filled with disdain. Kang Chon's face was very ugly as he stared at the purple golden lance in Li Laoki's hand and said, word for word, "This is a treasure tool." Everyone in the noisy square around the life and death stage looked at Li Laoki in the sky in shock, or to be precise, at the purple golden lance in his hand. Treasure weapon. Surprisingly, it was a treasure weapon. People were incomparably shocked that the Li family had given a treasure weapon to Li Laoki to fight. This was simply to bullying. Everyone knew that a cultivator at the 9th level of the Jidan stage with a treasure weapon was completely capable of fighting a Yuanying stage powerhouse. Li Laoki's own realm was many levels beyond Kangshan, and now he was even fighting with a treasure weapon. The crowd immediately felt that the Li family was too shameless. How thick skin was needed. On the viewing platform, Jin Sanxiao, Wang Taizhong and the others' faces were incomparably gloomy. Lei Yun was the most short-tempered, as he angrily looked at Li Yuanba and said, "Li Yuanba, your Li family is too shameless to take out a treasure artifact for Li Laoki to fight." Jin Sanxiao also grimaced sarcastically and said, "I, Jin Sanxiao, have underestimated the thickness of your Li family's cheeks. I'm afraid that the imperial capital's city walls are slightly less than that." HMPH. The previous battle contract did not stipulate that fighting with treasure weapons was not allowed. Li Yuanba coldly snorted. Jin Sanxiao and the others were dumbfounded. Indeed, they had not expected the Li family to be so shameless before. Although it was true that the Li family did this to stir up gossip, it was better than Li Laoqi being killed by Kang Chon in public. And removing Kang Chon, this terrifying enemy, was too important to the Li family. "All right then, I'll admit defeat on behalf of my grandson. Your Li family wins." Wang Tixiong stood up and said in a deep voice. He was after all the patriarch of a family in the first place. He was very calm at the moment. Li Laoqi, who possessed a treasure weapon, was definitely not something Kang Chon could deal with right now. The only way to save his life was to admit defeat. Although this might be very regrettable for Kang Chon, after all, 3 years of hard work, but did not complete his goal. But Wang Tixiong felt that he was not afraid of having no wood to burn. Admit defeat. Li Yuanba smiled disdainfully at his words and mocked. "What do you take my Li family for? Fighting whenever you want. I understand to tell you, once this battle starts, only one side can die before it ends. If you don't keep the war contract, then don't blame my Li family for bullying others with their power." HMPH. Wang Tixiong instantly became furious at his words. His eyes were red as he glared at Li Yuanba, and his 2 fists were squeezing and crunching. Beside him, Hua Qianrong, Liu Suifeng, Lei Yun, and the others also looked furious. Li Yuanba. Jin Sanxiao stood up with a somber face, but his words were immediately interrupted by the 9th princess on the side. And he couldn't help but look at the 9th princess in confusion. The 9th princess said indifferently, "Jin Sanxiao, the war contract was stipulated by you. And Kang Chon also agreed to it, so I hope you won't corrupt your Jin family's credibility." Jin Sanxiao was stunned at his words, and then his face was incomparably ugly. Indeed, just as the 9th princess had said, he had to consider the Jin family's position. Although the forces of the Jin family did not fear the Li family, if Kang Qian violated the rules, then the Li family's old generation experts would have a reason to strike. And unless Kang Qian stayed in the Jin family for the rest of his life, he was afraid that as soon as he left the house, he would be struck down by the Li family's strongest men.